But still we have no answers. No one has yet claimed responsibility. Dr. Talos Rucker, the leader of ARC, posted a letter condemning the attack. Sources close to the investigation, however, tell me that Rucker and ARC...
So, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, how are you enjoying it, Adam?
I'm enjoying it an awful lot. I would, similar to how Mick has done in our review, I think it's important to preface this by saying I loved Human Revolution. Like, I really thought it was a fantastic game. I remember when it came out and it was like, I mean, not out of nowhere because it wasn't a brand new series, but it was really, really good. And I haven't finished it. I don't think I've played as much as Mick. That's clear. But I wouldn't say it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because they have fixed the things that were unpopular about Human Revolution. Mankind Divided is very much a sequel to that game, and I love it. And the reason I love it is because I wouldn't even call myself a fan of stealth, because I often find stealth games broken in lots of different ways. But this game, Greg, this game really gets under my skin, and it does so because of the way it approaches stealth. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. In fact, there's multiple examples in an example of a side mission. So you go to a door where there is something behind it, and you know this because it's a side mission you've picked up from just some random, whether it's like a pocket secretary, it's a PDA, iPad, whatever you want to call it. They call it pocket secretary.
Yep. Okay.
There's a side mission, and it's led you to this point where there's a door. The door is locked. It has a keypad on it. Now, if you've upgraded yourself, because the augmentations mean you're basically part machine. If you've upgraded your hacking ability enough, you can just hack that door and go in, or explore around a bit and you might find a wall, and that wall is breakable. So if you've unlocked that augmentation, you can break through the wall there, perhaps work your way down into that same area that way. Or if you go, really go into detective mode here and go and look around the place, you might find another pocket secretary in another room in another building that has the passcode for that door, and then you can just tap the passcode in and just walk in the front door and it's all done. Or there might be a vent somewhere that gives you access, but inside that vent there's an electrocuted floor due to some failed circuitry, and if you've got another sort of upgraded augmentation level, you can go on that electric floor without being harmed. Or there's a hole in a wall somewhere with a massive grate, almost like a fridge in front of it, and if you've upgraded that ability, your strength enough to say level 3 strength, you can pick that up, throw it away, and lo and behold, there's a hole you can get straight in the building. All of that means, and this is just some side mission, all of this also applies to the main game, the story. Or you know what? Let's take that and let's spin that further. And there's a mission where the reason you have to go all the way around there and hack the security, or use the vent, or use the hole, or use the electric floor, is because there are guards in the way. There's an option where if you want, you just pull out your gun and kill them. You know what I mean? They're going to keep coming until you kill them all, but you can kill them if you want. All of that means every single mission, every single side quest gives you that level of freedom's perhaps the wrong word, but just that many options. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. It kind of sounds, the way you're talking, describing it, it sounds a bit like Hitman. Just the way there's so many ways to go about it. It does sound pretty interesting, and obviously the interactive environments and stuff like that kind of gives me echoes of Hitman. But based on the kind of previous game, how does the plot kind of carry on? Does the plot kind of carry on well? Does it fit in and the characters flow from both games well?
So one of the difficulties with certainly these the last Deus Ex game and this one is that Adam Jensen as a character is not the easiest to warm to. To be completely brutal, he has a beard that I want to shave off. No one has, and I get it. It's supposed to be like the future and all this, but no one has a beard that's. If you know someone with a beard sculpted in that manner, they probably warrant a slap. But it's not just that. There are narrative reasons he wears that big long coat because it covers up his augmented arms, his robot arms. But there isn't really a reason he talks like Batman, And that again, it's not like you're hearing that all the time. What's best about Mankind Divided is that gameplay. The story is, I mean, they've called it mechanical apartheid. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that.
I saw that in the promo material.
So the story carries on 2 years from the last one, and basically augmented people are not welcome in this kind of new world, and so they're all kind of pushed to like Prague, where there's like heavy police presence and control, and it's kind of orgs. That's what they call them, augmented people, orgs versus the norms, humans without augmentations, and that's, you know, government conspiracies and other non-government conspiracies. It's that kind of thing, and it's fine. I would say that one thing, because while I think the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal, like really, actually before I say that, I should say the reason I find this game, the reason I haven't finished it, is because it's so easy to get lost and distracted by everything else, like the hacking, like exploring, like upgrading, like, you know, buying and selling, getting your guns, all this stuff. It's so exceptionally engrossing in that respect. But the one thing I'd say about the story is that, and again, Mick touches on this in his review, so go to GodisaGeek.com and find the review there. We're kind of getting used now to the point where games like Uncharted and Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, exist, and whilst Deus Ex Mankind Divided is a phenomenally good-looking game at times, what it doesn't excel at is like lip syncing and sort of motion capture. Like, so in the multiple, you know, you're having these big long chats of people, and there's multiple choice, you know, dialogue options to choose things, you know, to take missions on, to refuse, to grill people. There's a whole social thing. One of the augmentations is upgrading your social thing, so you can literally read people's biometrics while you're talking to them to you know, do a number on them kind of thing and get the upper hand. But in those scenes, it's not as visually, like the people don't look good like they look in, say, an Uncharted 4. And I know that's a different kind of game, but the one area that I feel is let down in this is that kind of non-motion captured. I mean, there's some AI issues. I should just, you know, because I feel like I'm praising it too much without giving balance here. It's a very gamey game, and by that I mean, say you're in a room with two guards, and one guard is stood by the door, leaning against a crate, looking out the front door, like trying to, you know, watching anyone come in. Guard number 2's patrolling around. You go around. Basically, you press B or circle, and you'll do like a takedown. And it's like there's multiple animations, and he just drags them, punches them out. They're not silent. They're not quiet. You could be stood near enough next to the other guard, and you've knocked them out. And he should be turning around going, someone's just been knocked out. He just screamed. You literally hear them scream, but they don't, because it's based on vision cones. Yeah. And again, if you can't see past that, you're going to think it's stupid. But for me, I find the gameplay loops so engrossing that I didn't mind it as much as perhaps I might in a game that wasn't as engrossing, you know? Yeah. But I just really like it. I mean, we should end there, because I don't know. I mean, there's so much to talk about in this game, and people will. I think if you like that last one, it's a no-brainer. Don't expect it to be drastically different in terms of gameplay, apart from the fact that the missions for me seem better tuned. Like the main missions seem better tuned. Like there's not this weird mishmash of like boss fights and stealth gameplay that doesn't quite marry up like there is in Human Revolution. This feels really well tuned to me, and I can't really recommend it enough. It's got faults, but for what it is, it's been ages since the last one, and this is I really wanted this game, and I'm really glad it's good. Really good. It does sound pretty slick. From all the promo material, it does look insanely stylish. It looks up my street. I've never played a Deus Ex game before, but actually I played the last one for a little bit, but I never finished it. It does look kind of up my street, but we'll see. I'm kind of scared to buy into things now after No Man's Sky, but it does sound pretty slick, so we'll see Mick review and see how it all turns out. Cool.
Should have backed the GodisaGeek Patreon.